Hey everybody, this is our first kind of official team meeting. I called it Team Awesome just because I didn't really have any other better name. But this is basically my team under Marisa, and some of you really signed up with Marisa, but you were probably put under me. And then some people I've signed up, and we're a random collection of people but we're all like very ambitious, and this team really is awesome because we are in such a unique place to be under Marisa so directly, and I want to show you a visual on that later. So we'll do that, but I thought we'd start with just always like at the beginning of the month celebrating some wins from last month. And lots of people on this group are brand new, so it doesn't have to be a big impressive win. It can just be that you signed one person up, or you figured out how to put your picture on your website or something like that. So, Erin, do you want to start?
Oh my gosh. So March and April were much better months for me than May was. May, I was traveling a lot, and I think the momentum Marisa was talking about on the earlier meeting, like going through your 100 list, kind of like lessened, and I was still planting seeds, but they weren't sprouting yet. So May was a tough month for me, but I can already see some of my labor from May starting to pay off now, just in this first week of June. So that's really good.
Awesome. Yeah, we can't always control like when people sign up and stuff as much as we'd like to.
Exactly. But I'm working on a webinar, so that's fun. So that's another win that I think once I have that done and sent out to my list, hopefully that will be plentiful and fruitful, I hope. So
yeah, and we can talk about that later too. Great. And then I put like two customers, I think, and one builder under you. So that's exciting.
It is exciting. I love it. I'm excited to support you with them.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. So let's see, my celebration, I guess mostly is that I made premiere last month.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would have to say that's a lot of Marisa. That one. We did a lot of placing of volumes to help facilitate that. But it's still exciting. It's just kind of a step closer. We can do a visual later if people are like not knowing what that rank means. Marilyn's trying to come back on.
There she is.
So yeah, that was probably my biggest thing. And what else was going on? Oh, you know what actually kind of feels like a bigger win in a sense is I gave my first talk here in Phoenix, and we enrolled a few people, including Marilyn, who's coming on, and I got a few people kind of their first training, and that was pretty exciting. I'm excited to be working in a leadership role. I think that's really fun for me. So it's been good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Marilyn, let's see. Marilyn, can you hear now? Let's see.
She's still muted.
There we go. Can you hear us now, Marilyn?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I figured out what the problem was. I had, I'm like, I have the thing in the right hole, but I had the HDMI cable going out to the TV, and so even though the TV was off, and so the sound was trying to go to the TV that was off.
It's usually something, as long as you can track it down. So, Marilyn, you are brand new to our team, and we're just doing like a celebration from last month of any size that relates to doTERRA. So I don't know, do you want to share just a bit about yourself and a win you had last month?
Okay, well, didn't really. I guess it's just a personal win, just getting signed on with doTERRA again. I was signed up maybe 3, 4, or 5 years ago with someone else who wasn't doing anything to build her team, so I just kind of let it fall by the wayside. And then when I renewed again, I got the free bottle of peppermint that they send you every year for renewing. So that's just kind of a personal win. And So what I do is I'm in the light working and energy medicine field. I work with Tibetan singing bowls and crystals to do sound healing therapy. So I'm really interested in the high vibrational aspects of essential oils and how that can enhance the client's experience with, the sound healing, the crystal therapy, just the energy medicine in general.
Yeah, you and I had a great conversation about all the possibility around that with the oil. So I think it's really
Yes.
exciting. Well, Erin, since it's just the three of us, Erin, do you want to share a little bit about your business as well? And then we'll move on to our goals.
Sure. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Marilyn. I'm Erin. And so my business is called The Youth Method, and I love working with women primarily over 40. I work on them with healing foods, healing movement, and then a really healing mindset. So the oils fit really beautifully into the whole, basically all of those things, they can be used in all of those avenues. So I'm just super excited. I've been doing it just about 3 months now, I think. And it's super fun. I'm loving integrating it into my current business, and it fits beautifully with the whole detox and reducing toxic load. So I'm just having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, Erin's doing a really great job. She's like just been all in on this team. So definitely can ask her how she thinks.
Okay.
She's done a great job. Awesome. Well, let's move on to goals. I can start just to give you guys a little minute if you want to think about it. I have a lot of goals, but don't feel like you have to have as many goals.
I have a lot of goals too.
Okay, good. So I'd like to get 6 new clients, mostly from a webinar I'm going to do later today. But I have one other person I'm working on, and then I'd like to get 2 new builders because I have a couple people I'm working on that. So that would be great. And then I'm starting off my friend Rita Marie under Erin's team, and we're going to it's actually just going to be a Facebook Live, but I'd like to get some sales out of it. So I wrote down four clients for that. And Erin, I don't know if you and I are going to do a webinar this month or not, but
yeah,
I'm happy to squeeze it in. Okay, let's squeeze it in.
Because I got your email about the one you're doing. Aren't you doing it tonight with Marisa?
Yeah, I'm doing it pretty soon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can't watch it live, unfortunately, but I registered for it. And so I'll watch that because I wanted to kind of see what you guys did, because I know we had talked about that when we were on the phone.
Yeah, we're doing a little custom hormone pack. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'm hoping to use her speaking skills to my advantage. So if we do one, I'd love to get 4 clients.
Yes,
you as well. Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. And then just in general, I'd like to just do a good job of supporting people this month. Just gonna check back in on everybody mid-month, see how we're doing on goals. And then I really need to start working on getting people on loyalty rewards. So I have one neighbor I'd like to get on it. And then Marisa this morning mentioned to run that raffle, to get people on it. So that's just something I'm starting to dabble in a little more this month. So those are all my goals.
Yeah, a lot of my goals are like yours. I want to get my webinar done. I did a little bit of what the Makeover Your Medicine cabinet was like, but I changed it quite a bit, but it was really great having that as a guide. But I made it a little bit more probably attractive to my list and what they want. So I'm traveling this week to Toronto. So on Monday or Tuesday, I'm hoping to actually record it. It takes a long time to set it up. But so I don't even know what a normal turnout rate on conversions for a webinar is really. But I would love to get, if I got 4 people to sign up, I think I'd be pretty happy. And then I have 2 big builders I'm working on that I would love to have them finally say yes this month. I have my bar class that I was telling you about. I am trying to nail down a time to do a little class there. And just have them invite their clients. So I would love to get a few out of those. I don't know if that will happen this month, though. That's the only thing, because we're struggling with the schedule. What else? And then by the end of the month, I'd like to start and hopefully maybe even have done a second webinar in addition to maybe the one that you and I can do, but more towards, instead of like make over your medicine cabinet, more towards the youth method theme of like really losing weight and looking younger and like reducing overall toxic load in your body. So lots of goals.
That's great. No,
yeah.
that's great. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens for you, but I think if the audience, is more personal to you and more warmed up, then your odds are higher for conversion. But, I think that Marisa, I think she's only really converting to a sale. It seems like only about well, I don't know. It's hardly hard to say, but I know she gets sometimes 600 people to sign up for a webinar, but it's only amounts to 6 sales. So it's not a huge ratio there.
No, that's not.
But if you have a small event, but they really know you and you interacted with them more personally.
Well, that was my question. I don't even think I've asked Marisa this. So when she's doing that webinar, is it to her own list or is it through Facebook ads, like leads?
I think that's to her own Facebook groups and lists.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she does some ads, but I think it's, it's mostly to her own people.
So, and that's another goal, because after listening to her today, I have a private Facebook group for buyers and for my advocates, but I want to do a private Facebook group for just like people that are interested.
Okay. Is that a June goal or a later goal?
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an email to my list and just say, I've been talking a lot about essential oils. I'm going to have a private Facebook page where you can ask questions. So it'd be pretty easy, I think. So yeah, I'm going to start that this month.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. Marilyn, I know you're just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
What are your goals for this month?
So the problem for me, I was thinking it would be easier to start with just hosting an in-person class, but the problem is that I am going to be in a very, very, very tiny town in Alaska. It's literally to access the town, you literally have to go through a 2.5-mile one-way tunnel. It's the only entrance in or out. It's it closes at 11 at night, so there's no quick escape. But during the summer, there's only 200 full-time residents during the winter. They all live in one big building, but during the summertime, there's some 1 million tourists that come through the area.
Wow.
because it's right at Prince William Sound, and so it's where everybody goes to take the cruises to go see the glaciers and the whales and stuff like that. So I think it would be really difficult for me to logistically try to host a class when all the tourists are trying to get through the tunnel before it closes at nighttime, and with only 200 full-time residents. So I think I need to jump to the next step, which is to host a webinar, just to get my feet wet and see what that experience is like. And so my plan was to reach out to people on my list, my tribe of energy healers and light workers, and get them to come to the webinar.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's have you hosted a webinar before?
I have not.
Okay. I think that's a good goal. It could have a little bit more headaches than you're expecting. So maybe go easy on yourself. I think another great goal to be work on your list of 100, reaching out to those people.
Okay.
Because you...
Oh, yeah. You know what? Let me make that my June goal, and I'll do the webinar for July.
I think that's good, because the 100% list is really reaching out one by one, which feels better to people. Getting people on a webinar, it's just a little not to say harder, but that's a little bit more for a broader audience. So if you already know some of these light workers and such, and they're on your list, start reaching out to them.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of time, do you feel like, on your hands this summer?
I mean, no, I don't think I would have any more time than anybody else that has a full-time job.
Oh, you're going to be
mean,
working full-time up there?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I just thought you were hanging out.
Well, it's a combination of both.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and a lot of people are working full-time, so it's just a matter of like hustling. I'm sure, Erin, you feel this way. Like I mean, this is definitely, I definitely have more flexible time, but there's like a million things I could be doing in my online business at any one point. So just a matter of, finding the time and spitting.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the 100-person list is good. And if you're game, Marilyn, we can do like a screen share and look at your list and just kind of go help people kind of see how to, because after you make the list, you have to think about sort of how to approach them.
Right.
Have you thought about that at all yet?
I have. I didn't know if it was best to approach personally on a phone call or through kind of like a email that's, has some of the similar information in it that a lot of the people would relate to, and then just kind of personalize each email to each person as I send it out.
Yeah, so what Marisa has said, and I found it to be true for me, is like however you would normally reach out to them is how you should reach out to them. So if it's someone that you call a lot, you can call. But like now I barely call anyone anymore. So I did a lot of Facebook Messenger. I did some email. I did some texting. I think I did a lot of Facebook Messenger. And I was super casual. I was just like, depending on the person, and we can either look at your list or just talk about your list for examples, but like some people I was just like, hey, are you already using essential oils? Like that was it. And then they're like, some of them are like, no. And some of them are like, yes, I'm already doing, doTERRA or Young Living. And then I don't know, that was often my lead in, just to be like, what's your situation like? And, but then I would cater it a bit. Like if they were a colleague, I would use it more as like a business opportunity. Erin, what were some of your techniques?
Yeah, I did a lot of what you just said. Like to my closer friends and like some of the people in Mindshare, I would Facebook message them and do the same thing. Are you using oils already? Do you use them personally? Do you use them in your business? And then they'd write back and it would just be more of a dialogue rather than this big, long, spiel about me wanting them to join. So the people that were already part of doTERRA was like, great, and then the people that weren't, I just took it a step further and said, I just ventured with doTERRA and I think you'd be amazing doing it too. Would you like to talk about it? Something really simple.
So is it, if it's just a friend and not so much a business colleague, and you're telling them that they would be good at it, are you trying to get them to join from the perspective of, doing it as a business? Because some of my friends aren't going to be interested in doing it as a business.
It depended on the person. So some of my friends I knew would be great at the business because they already have online businesses. And then the other ones, it was more like, okay, this is just coming to it from a point of getting a wholesale account and not doing it for business.
Okay.
So I kind of just, depending on their personality and where I knew they were at.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. Because most of my friends online businesses, I pretty much almost everybody hit it as a business opportunity. And at first I was like, well, don't I have to like show that I'm good at this business before I ask people? And the answer is basically no. It's more like just showing your enthusiasm and, some of the reasons that you're doing it, and help them see like, how it could possibly be a fit for them. And then, if they seem really, ready, kind of, then you can just set up a call with like me and that person. But you want to kind of have some conversation with them on your own. And then some of them will be like, not right now, I'm too busy. And then I will just say like, maybe I can circle back with you after this thing you're doing is over, and they'll usually say okay, and some of that drags on for a while potentially, but it's kind of just how it is. And I think it's okay to like, you just have to do that dance. Like you can't force them. So,
Okay. So you get somebody that's interested, then what's the next step? You said jump on a call with you.
yeah, I would at least prep them enough to like, jump on a call with just the two of you first. Just tell them about your experience and how you're going to use doTERRA, and then relate it to them. And like Erin had a great tip about, you'd be amazing at this because, well, there's a reason they're on your list. And the reason is because you think they would be good at it, or they're into natural living. So just saying, why you think it's a fit for them, or could be, is really helpful. Like, Marie's always says, like, help them see the vision. So, like, how could this be like part of your, so that they have to have some of that initial excitement.
Okay.
And then, after that could be some initial hesitation too, just about the time it will take to put in, and what other things, Erin, did you
It is. Well, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing, is the question of time. And I really like the 3 pathways that Marisa talks about, and I'll usually took that from Marisa and just kind of made a little document of that. So then I just send that to people if they have questions about time commitments. And I also really like that too, because it helps me to see where they're at in terms of how hard they want to work on it. Because some people might not be like myself or Bridget that want to go, as high as we can go. Some people might just want it for a little supplemental income, and that's fine too. And I think knowing that is pretty important.
Okay. Yeah, I probably didn't do that enough. And I like it because it gives you like a choice. It's like, do you want the chicken or the fish? And it's like, if you want this to not make you money, you can have that. But if you want it to make you money, this is the path you have to take. Yeah, so then it sort of puts it in their hands to like, to get there. So,
and it's nice because then you kind of know where to place them. Like, once you kind of are placing people on your graphical tree about where you have them in your system and your business, if there's someone that's already told you, I only want to work 4 hours a week on this. Well, you're not going to have them there on your first line, right? You're going to put them a little farther down in the business frame. And then hopefully at some point, once they see the potential, a lot of people will start working at it more than that. But
yeah,
they have to see it first sometimes. But then there's some people like Bridget and I, and maybe you too, Marilyn, that just are like, yep, I'm all in, right away.
But you had a lot of questions, I remember, Erin, that you wanted to like know what you're getting into.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Marilyn, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, so it's not really bad either way to have people that just want to be just a little bit of the way in, and, maybe some supplemental income, not necessarily.
Yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's good.
Yeah, you want anybody in there. The main thing that I didn't understand at first is like where you'd want to put them in your business. So you wouldn't want those type of people maybe on your first line because they're not going to be working quite as hard. So that was one thing Marisa really helped me with. And she's like, okay, this is where you got to move them here. And so that's why it's so nice to know it ahead of time.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want, I can show you guys my list, or Marilyn, do you want to share your list?
I wish I have it on, I made it on a different computer of mine.
That's okay. I'll share you guys my one, just or something, and then we can move on, but I'll just quickly share. I did mine on Google. You can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I did mine on just a Google Doc or Google spreadsheet, and now it's all colored up because a lot is like, happened. But I need to go back to this list because there's still people I haven't contacted. I don't know when I made this list. I can see up here I haven't touched this list since April 18th. So on some visiting. But there's some of the people who I didn't contact right away who I later just sent samples to. So that's another technique. Like if it's somebody that you don't really feel comfortable enough to just be like, hey, do you use oils? You can be like, hey, can I, I'm doing something new. Can I send you some samples? So that's like more what I started to do in like the second phase. And then it seems like there's still a lot I need to ask if they want samples. I have a whole bunch. I have like 12, or or more. So there's a bunch I can go back to. There's just, I realized like the next level I'm at, which is probably the third level, is like, I don't know them well enough, but I can start. And I got a ship station at my house, so I can ship stuff fairly easily now, which is kind of cool. A bunch of these people are Mindshare people, so I guess I could bring it. And then I originally ranked them on how good I thought they would be, like, and not, it doesn't always, you don't always get who you want, but like my friend Erin Knight, I don't know if you know her, but I was like, oh my God, she would be so great. She's so responsible. She's just headaches. But she already had a doTERRA account.
Darn it. I know, that's happened to me a lot. I'm like, darn.
It happens a lot. Although, to be honest, I think I would have asked more if I had understood it. Do you have an active account?
Yeah, that's true.
Are you making it into a business? Because I just sort of dropped it if they had an account. But I think Erin is doing some stuff. But if they're not active, they can move. So anyway, so the list you can keep going back to it, and you can keep adding because you keep meeting people and getting new ideas. So maybe I should like set a reminder to like, recheck it every month or every 2 weeks or something like that. So that's that.
Yep, I have a similar list like that, and I just go in and I highlight like you did, and it just helps you keep it a little more organized. I try to go in once a week because I have on my list of things to do every day, try to contact at least one person. It doesn't always happen, but I still have my reminder there. But like yesterday, I think I reached out to like 10 people because I hadn't done it in a while.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a really good idea. I like that. Because you can always handle one, even if you're having a busy day, and it gets you to look.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that a lot. Marilyn, does that give you a sense of how to get started?
It does. Yeah, it does actually. Yeah.
Cool.
I have a quick question, Bridget, that I hope you know. I think I asked Marisa this, but it still isn't making sense to me, and it's probably very simple. But when you're doing an order, like for my LRP order, it'll say at the bottom for personal consumption. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's supposed to be kind of like for doTERRA's tracking. Like they want to know, are you reselling these products or just using them for yourself? And
that's my question, because I do a little of both. Like sometimes it'll be stuff for my own personal use, but in the same order, it might be something I'm getting a gift for someone, or it's going to be a sample for someone. Or sometimes it's like that box in a class might be in there that I buy sometimes. So I'm like, I never know if I should really check the box or not. Because like for tax reasons, what's going to happen for me? Like if I'm buying for my business, obviously that's a write-off. But
I think all of it is, you're going to get, sort of, I think all of it is a write-off.
Okay.
No matter what you do. I think that what Marisa told me is that's more something doTERRA uses to track like how inventory is being used. There is a related thing I just recently found out because Mary Ellen, who's on our team, asked about it, which is if you're being charged sales tax for your order, but you're going to be reselling it as retail, you can submit your your tax reseller number or whatever to doTERRA. And then you won't be charged tax. But that's really only supposed to be if you resell it. I don't think that's really supposed to be if you use it yourself.
Okay. Or for gifts too, probably not.
Probably not. But if you have that number, you could submit it. Like she is a clinic and she is going to be reselling. And I didn't know about that thing until she brought it up. So I think the personal consumption, it won't change anything on your end. You'll still get like when you're paid, all your little earnings will be computed and you'll get a 1099. Is that what it is? So I don't think it'll affect any of that. I'm trying to see if there's anything in doTERRA's.
Are you only allowed to resell it at what retail price they list?
I think so. I mean, you could maybe do a discount, like say, oh, it's 10% off or whatever, but I don't think they probably don't want you to make it more. Yeah, let's see here. Personal consumption. I think it's all, kind of the same. You can buy at wholesale price for resale to customers for use as sales aids or for personal consumption. So, here's your question, Marilyn. Wellness advocates are free to set their own selling price. So as long as the price is above wholesale price and the purchasers personally consume the products they purchase. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's for a little bit for their own curiosity, Erin.
Okay.
Impression
I wasn't, because I'm like, is this going to mess up all my tax stuff if I'm putting personal consumption when sometimes it's not? Okay.
I know. I feel like I'm always doing it for various things also.
Yeah.
But I sample constantly, so I don't really feel like I need to check that.
So do you check the box or you don't check the box?
I usually don't check the box.
You don't check it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have been. Because I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what Marisa told me. It's just kind of they're curious. But I did want to show the back end. I thought that might be helpful for a little bit. So maybe let me screen share again.
And then while you're doing that, I'll just ask you a quick question. For the for Rita Marie LRP, are you gonna be kind of nurturing that, or do you want me to nurture that?
She has been instructed how to do LRP. Let me log in and I'm going to show you who people are on the team and what roles they play, so to speak. Because I kind of mentioned to Marilyn that we've got a couple special people. Okay. So if you click, I'm logged in now, and if I click on products, I can see my upcoming loyalty order, which is today, and then there's also a one-time order. So like the Father's Day special, because you can only order it in June, you'd have to do a one-time order, I noticed. So loyalty order is going to repeat every month unless you change it. So I know you ladies probably all know this, but this is a pretty important detail. If you're going to resell, you're going to be a wellness advocate, you have to have a loyalty of over 100 PV a month, and you will get the same stuff unless you change it. So just be cognizant. Yeah, I change it like 3 times. I'm just like, oh, now I decided I want this faster. I just change it all the time. And I always get 125 PV so I can get the free oil. And usually that free oil I'll just give away as a prize or something. So for instance, Erin, as you start your Facebook group, you could give away your lavender touch to one person who joins the group or something. Mm-hmm. People love that stuff. They fall for it all.
Yes, they do.
And over here in this bar, it usually shows the monthly stuff. So the Father's Day, and then this is the free oil of the month. Fennel? I thought it was lavender touch. Oh, that's a sale item. Okay, and the free is, they don't show the free except in your cart. And then you get this lifelong vitality pack if you spend $100 the following month on LRP. So Marisa and I are going to promote that in the webinar. Some of the things are a little confusing, like, oh, you have to make an order next month and then you in a certain way, and then you get some vitamins. Like, it's confusing, I think. So you're really probably best to present it on a webinar or like a one-to-one conversation, because to me, I think it's too confusing for people to figure that out on their own. And then over here, account profile would be where you can change your email and your credit card. And I wanted to show here the rewards. So this is how many rewards I currently have. And this is every time I spend 100 points, I get 15 points back. So it's pretty good. Here's a little handy button to enroll a new member. Here is my site address. Marilyn, I don't know if you've gone into this, but you can pick what your name of your site is. You can put in a photo and you can create a bio. And then I'll show, and then here's your link, my.doterra.com / whatever you want. And then you can go visit that. And then you can share that with people and they can shop there.
So that's where people can just shop for like individual oils without actually joining, or
They can do both. So I'll go to mine. So this would be like if for some reason, people are doing it on their own and you're not placing the order for them, they can go to shop for retail, or they can go to join and save for the wholesale. And it'll just walk them through all the steps here. So it is pretty easy.
And what's the benefit of them shopping on their own versus me placing the order for them?
I mean, I don't think there's a lot of benefit except it saves you time. So if somebody who's pretty comfortable and like doesn't have a lot of time, they might just like, there's a few people I'm like trying to get on the phone and they're like, they don't want to get on the phone. Well, people don't want to get on the phone anymore.
I know. People don't like it.
They don't. They feel like it's a trick or something.
Yep.
So sometimes you just let them shop around on their own. And some of them do fine, but then some of them get a little tripped up. So anyway, that is that. And then, so that was under account profile. And then.
Is that the only way that you can sell the doTERRA oils is through that, their own shopping cart? Or can you like set something up on your own website? Like if you're reselling. So if you're reselling, then you can do your own website.
Yeah. Okay. I have only one thing so far, but I'm going to have like 3 things on my website just to kind of let people know I'm doing doTERRA and like they can see a few things. So I did the Digest Zen rollerball. That was the first thing I put on my shop. So you can resell it that way. You can resell it in your office.
Okay.
That's totally fine. I think if you're in that office setting, having a few things could potentially be good, but you do eventually want to move them to an account and train them for that. That's the little tougher part, but at least they get the instant gratification of buying something right away.
Okay.
So if you have like just a few things on hand, so depending how you phrase it, if they're just going to buy one oil, they don't probably want to set up an account for $35 to buy one oil. So I think there's probably a couple ways to slice that. You could say, oh, no, I don't carry them retail. You have to get an account. Or you could just carry a few things. Maybe try both. See what works.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the back office. Let me just show you again since I was talking. Just if you want to get there, saying this to the people watching later, just click on my back office. This back office is so old-fashioned looking. It's very clunky, but it does do a few handy things. So I'm going to click on Team, and I'm going to click on this graphical tree to show you guys our team. So you're always at the top of your own tree. You can't see who's above you on this. I think there is somewhere else to see it, but not right here. So let's see. This is a ghost leg I have. This is my assistant, Tammy. This is Erin. Let's look at Erin's tree. So Erin has Rita Marie, her husband, who's kind of a ghost leg, right?
I have 2 ghosts right now. Well,
What are
Ella and
ghosts?
Todd are my ghosts.
So if you don't have a person identified yet who you think really wants to get into the business with you, you can put kind of a friend, like a dummy person, set them up an account, and then just later when you have a real person who is fired up about starting a business with you, you switch them out. So Erin has found builders, but she hasn't found anyone who really wants to like make this a career or whatever.
Right.
So she has a couple fakes, but Erin still has a ton of volume. So like Erin was talking about placement, Erin has a lot of customers, but she didn't put them under her because she wants them to start making a team. So here for Todd, she has Katerina, who's a real person who is wanting to build, right?
Yeah. She just, she wanted like the first and second pathway rather than really going after it. So that's why I didn't want her on my first line.
Okay. And then you have Gavin. Mm-hmm. Is this a real person who's doing okay?
But he's not doing anything.
Oh.
So Katerina and Stephanie's been my best one so far, but she's going up and down too. So none of my builders are like really gunning for it yet.
I mean, how Erin showed up to doTERRA is probably rare. sadly but truly. I mean, people are busy and that's just like life, So, but Marisa has said sometimes people start out slow, but then they really get cranking. So you never know. Okay,
so
great.
can you move them at a later time?
You only have 14 days.
Oh.
So for like the ghost people, we can replace them. But for like someone who we put in a spot with some intent, I'm not going to maybe explain this for a while because I don't. Mostly you can only move people within 14 days, but I think there's some exceptions.
You just have to get permission from them if you want to move them. So that's why the ghost legs work well, because it's not really a real person that you're moving.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point.
Okay.
They're not offended that you're moving them because they never really wanted to do anything.
Exactly.
In the first place. Okay. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah.
So you can move some of those people down at the bottom that are green into one of the ghost positions.
Let me show you in a minute about how you can move, because I think here, I'll show you right now. So we were just at the graphical tree, and now I'm going to go to sponsor changes. These are 2 people who got enrolled recently that we can still move around. So they're just customers. But this is showing how many days, and I click this to get them changed. So, but if the 14 days passes, then it's a whole hassle. So there was one customer I tried to put under Erin. I didn't notice I put her in the wrong place, and then I had to have the customer write to doTERRA, which is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do except I know her. So this is where you would change, though.
Okay.
So basically, like one of the things Marisa talks about a lot is you want to try to not have wholesale accounts on your first line.
You want to create like a very tidy structure, and I think Erin's looks really tidy. Mine probably has a few more bits of sloppiness because like, who are these people?
Well, those are retail, so that was one thing I learned, that we can't move retail.
Oh, the retail customers. Okay.
Yeah, the diamonds are retail.
Oh, okay.
So,
can't. Yeah, so they're just hanging out. Yeah. Okay.
But Marilyn, if you can look at mine, I only have 2 ghost builders, but only builders, and then the retail because I can't move them, because Marisa says that's the best way to kind of maximize. So you always want to move the green ones, which are the wholesales.
These ones, yeah.
On your second line or third line.
Okay.
Yeah, so Erin, maybe you were the first one Marisa put under me, I think. And then I made this ghost leg, Tammy. And then Amy isn't here, but she's in Hawaii. And then Jaden is also in Hawaii, and we put her under Amy. I'm just sharing this because hopefully you'll start meeting these people. And then this is Nicole. It looks like a corporation or something, but Marilyn, you're under Nicole because Nicole is a special person on our team. Nicole and Rita Marie are special people because they are very busy, but they have very lot of connections. So basically, we just set them up with events or webinars to get us traffic. We do a lot of the work. And not that Nicole did work for sure, but then Nicole doesn't have to do the following up and training. It's just like kind of a deal we made. But already it was fruitful because here's you, Marilyn. Here's Angela, also from that event. Mary Ellen, who I talked about, and Heather signed up as a wholesale customer from that.
Okay.
So it's great. We're building new people, and practitioners to me have a high value, really high value. They know how to build a business. They're into wellness. They know a lot of people. So I really think our team will be practitioner heavy to the max, which I think is fabulous. I think it's going to make our team really special. So let me see what else I can show. Who is this person? It's not letting me. Oh, this is my ghost. Oh, this is one of our friends, Jerry. And he is around, but he's not really like, I don't know what he wants to do with doTERRA exactly. I'm sure to see if there's anyone else. Anyone you want to talk about on your team? You said that Stephanie's doing good, right?
She goes up and down. So like
Okay.
the first month she really didn't do anything. The second month I kind of did all of this and showed her the back office, and she got really fired up. And then now in May she didn't really do anything. So it's kind of up and down. The other two haven't done anything, Katerina and Gavin. Katerina, Marisa and I were really kind of excited about her, but she's kind of lost momentum. And I keep trying to kind of reignite it, but I might need some pointers there down the road. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it can be difficult. And
Yeah.
I think people go through their ups and downs.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. There's a woman, Angela, who she's traveling all this month and like she's got a lot going on in her personal life. So like, I don't think everyone will like launch quickly. So I think just trying to stay in communication, and you're welcome to invite her to this, invite her to Marisa's thing. I'm going to try to organize more like little training videos, because stuff like this I think is really important for people to see and understand. Yeah.
Once you see the back office, it makes more sense.
Yeah, doTERRA's a bit of a confusing company. So really learning the back end is like pretty important, because the rest is all just fun and creative and keeping in touch, but you do need to learn this. So I want to show one more thing, which is kind of where we fit in terms of where Marisa is. This isn't as pretty, but I'll show you this. So here's Marisa. She's a blue diamond. And then these other people, I don't know who they are, but I think they're above Marisa.
Yeah, I think the presidential diamond one was the one that recruited her.
This Brilliant Solutions Group person.
Either that one or the one all the way down. I have no
idea. Yeah, they all created little businesses now.
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec. I want to show you one other, if I can find it. There's one girl I found with the okay. When I saw this blog, just because I was looking around, I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
I kind of understand this better. So these are like all the higher ranks. And this is average earning per year. Yeah. So let me go a little further down. So the first several levels, and this is why I can stay hard to keep people motivated. There isn't a lot happening really.
At the beginning.
No, I mean, Erin's been working really hard. Erin hasn't made much money at all. I haven't made much money at all. I don't think I'll be making any money of note till December. But I just think, okay, I was just recalling this the other. My entire first year in acupuncture practice, I took home $1,000. $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had a big education to pay off. That's all I took home because I was single. I had my office rent. So I'm going to make more in doTERRA this year than that. And that certainly costs a lot more. So I think keeping some of those things in check makes sense. So I think the first rank I hit was executive. Are you executive or elite, Erin?
I'm still executive. I'm hoping elite should be this month.
Okay, great. Well, that's another.
I wanted it to be May, but didn't happen.
So executive means you have 2,000 overall points in your team. And I think we'll bump you up for sure because we're going to do that webinar with Rita Marie. Hopefully I can get that on the schedule. And in fact, you've got some things going on. We'll do some webinars with you. Yeah. And then elite is 3,000 in your team. There's some nice little tidbits in here, like a lot of people think in terms of classes. If a class gets you 500 points, do 6 classes, basically. So I think there's some truth to just getting in front of people as much as possible. And then Premier is what I just hit, which really was Marie's doing a lot of it, which was 5,000 in my team, but 2 teams had to make 2,000 each. So we made sure that Erin's team and Amy's team brought in 2,000 each. So it takes people often 8 months to reach this. But this girl reached it in 4 months. I think I reached it in 4 months. Again, I would not have reached it if I weren't on this team. There's no way in the world. And then these things start getting more interesting up here, the leadership ranks. So when you hit silver, you have 3 elites under you, and you're making an average of 2,000 a month. So this is my goal for December, so that my teams
I feel
will
like
all
you'll
be
get there before December.
Yeah, maybe before December, but
I bet you'll get there by like September.
Okay, I need to maybe reconsider it. And here's where it's getting a little tricky: knowing your teams, making sure you're nurturing all your teams. So anyway, the point of all this was I wanted to show where Marisa is, which is way over here.
She's making the big bucks.
She already has 5 teams at the gold level, which we didn't really talk about, but she's making like over 40,000 a month. And I'm sure she's not pocketing all of it. She has a team. She travels a lot. It's not like she's just sitting around. She works incredibly hard.
She does.
Yeah. And what she's going for is Presidential Diamond, which means she has 6 teams. And we're number 6. So that is why we're in a really good place, because this girl already knows how to build teams. She's done it. She has like a gazillion people under her. She has teams all over the world. So other people would start in doTERRA like you did with your friend Marilyn, and they just don't really have leadership. And we have not only leadership, but we have volume. Marisa just gives us customers. She gives us builders.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you can get people to sign up from all over the world. They don't have to be in the US.
They don't have to be in the US. We should maybe cover this on the next call. There's a ton of potential in new countries and new markets that are opening. I have an assistant in Colombia, and I found out doTERRA's going there. I was like going crazy. I already sent her like a $30 package of samples and books because I want that girl. That is happening. So, I mean, I'm like really into it. Like I saw one of my followers is in Brazil, and they already opened. And I'm like, I will send her I'll send anybody, because I love to travel, and if I can get some teams going in other countries, it's fantastic for me. I would love it. So yeah, you can definitely be in other countries. Latin America is really growing. New Zealand is newly opened up, and there are a lot of advantages to that person who's in the other country to be in the new positions. We're doTERRA's been 10 years old, so we're all old. But they can be way on the top of everything. So that's an amazing opportunity for them.
Just because it's a brand new country?
It's a brand new country, so there's something they call founders. And I don't know how you get to be a founder, but you can be a founding wellness advocate. And I don't know what privileges that gets you exactly, but it gets you something. And Marisa will have to share more how to become a founder, but there's something called founders positions, and there's only so many of them when a new market opens up. So yeah, you guys ever seen, there's a little leadership magazine you can get, and it'll show who was some of the people you see get to high ranks or founders. Mm-hmm. So yeah, really when I saw this, it really hit home. Like I was like, oh, now I see what she's up to and why she's putting so much into us, because we are that team. She's got to bring us up with all the other teams that are all ahead of us. So it's pretty incredible. And so it will go, kind of slow. But I think the difference between somebody who just makes a little bit in doTERRA and who eventually makes a lot is chipping away at it. Mm-hmm. With it.
Well, and I feel like any new business, that's how it is. Like when I started the youth method, I don't think I made any real money until, I'd make like $200 here and $200 there. And then all of a sudden, 6 months in, it was much more regular. And I think that's how it is with doTERRA too. Yep. Like I think Marisa calls it hauling buckets at first. You got to haul the heavy buckets for a little while, and then they start getting a little lighter as you put more and more work in.
Yeah, and I can see how people would get discouraged, or the little checks you'll get, Marilyn, like bad, $25, $50. You're like, really? We always get a good laugh when they come in the mail. But like, I wouldn't, if I didn't know Marisa, and like I've hung out with her, this is not a scam. Like, this is happening. And I think I'm like, I just say, don't even think about it. Just trust that it can happen, and do your work. And that keeps me going.
Yeah. A few months work in, and it'll definitely start paying off.
Yeah. And that's why I say, let's always celebrate.
How many months have you been in it, Bridget?
I think I'm going to start it in February. So it's not that long.
Yeah. I think I started at the end of February. So I've been 3 months, so.
That's so short. It's really short. We do need to have that long vision for sure. And yeah, it is a business to build. They don't really reward you for just selling a few things. Like they want you to build the whole thing out.
Yeah. And that's when it really starts paying off.
Yeah. So, okay. I think that was mostly what I wanted to cover today.
Okay, so these are going to be the first Tuesday of every month, right?
I was thinking that's a good day. Someone just asked, well, could we do it on a different day of the week? Mondays can be a bit busy for me when the month starts. Yeah, but I don't want it to be like Thursday or Friday, because then I feel like you're already kind of over it.
Yeah.
So I would maybe switch to Wednesday if people really wanted. Maybe we'll just do another survey about times. Erin, you're welcome to invite some of your builders.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll definitely invite Stephanie. I think she would actually come. I'm not sure if Katerina or Gavin would come, but I'll invite them.
Yeah, just invite them. Give them opportunities to learn. And let me just check my notes, see if there's anything else. Marilyn, I really appreciate you coming on. I know you're just starting out, so I appreciate you being here and learning quickly.
Lots of good information here.
Yeah, I think to put in the hour to sit with us, it does speed it up, because trying to search all this stuff online is slow. So we'll just kind of just directly tell you what's going on. Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. I'm going to I'll send out like a chart of like what your goals were, and maybe other people can add their goals, and we'll check in a couple weeks. Marilyn, I would suggest chunking it down like you and I talked about too. Like, how many are you going to do 10 a week or whatever you think?
Okay.
Yeah. And if you're struggling, like you're like, people are writing me back or whatever, like, first of all, that's normal. Second of all, you're welcome to ask me if you're like, what do I do when they say this? Occasionally you might get somebody get thrown a little attitude. So did you get that, Erin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some people honestly won't write back. Like,
they won't write back.
Yeah.
They feel like
they don't know what to say. Like, if they don't want to do it, it's like they don't want to say they don't want to do it, so they just don't write back.
Okay.
And then I just write them again and be like, no worries if you're not ready right now. I never completely shut it down. Like, I never say you're not interested. I'll just say you're not ready right now. Because a lot of times people are ready later.
It's true. I never thought I'd be doing doTERRA.
Me neither.
No. You see, it just takes the right synergy.
Yeah.
So that's why, again, we need to be patient when people aren't quite ready, and just keep in touch. Beauty Counter too. Erin and I do Beauty Counter, and I just said no to that to the same lady 3 times. And then finally, I think it was the same one. Finally, I'm like, all right. So, but somebody else had told me something that clicked, and then I was like, okay.
Well, I actually found out about doTERRA back in 2010.
Wow.
So I've known about it, and then a few years later I signed up under somebody that wasn't really doing anything, and then I went to the the seminar at the SCNM, and I was really blown away by what Maritza can do. So
yeah, I think it's good to see that example, kind of lifts us up for sure. So yeah, and again, maybe the timing just wasn't quite there, for some reason before. So awesome. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you guys coming on. It was a ton of fun.
Yes, thank you.
I'll be in touch by email.
Right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.